The biggest sporting event on Earth just kicked off. 48 teams, 3 countries, 104 matches, billions of fans watching. And on day one, the stadiums were half empty. Not because people don't care about football, not because the matches weren't good, because a ticket to watch your country play at the 2026 World Cup costs more than most people's monthly rent. The cheapest seat at the final, $5,785. The most expensive, $10,990. And then they tripled. Welcome to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The biggest, most expensive, most controversial tournament in the history of football. And it's only just started. Let's start with the numbers. Because the numbers are genuinely insane. When the United States, Canada, and Mexico originally bid to host this tournament, they made a promise to FIFA and to football fans around the world. A seat at the final, they said, would cost a maximum of $1,550. That was the promise. By April 2026, the cheapest standard ticket for the final had reached $5,785. That is not a price increase. That is a different reality. The most expensive seats hit $10,990. And then, and this is real, they tripled from there. Just 2 days before the tournament started, there were 180,000 unsold tickets sitting on FIFA's official platform. 180,000 tickets. Unsold. For the World Cup. FIFA President Gianni Infantino had a response to all of this. He told fans to, and I'm quoting directly, chill. He said FIFA had received 500 million ticket requests, 10 times more than any previous World Cup. Record demand, he said. Unprecedented interest. And yet on day 2 of the tournament, the South Korea versus Czech Republic match in Guadalajara, television cameras showed entire sections of empty seats. Rows and rows of empty seats. In a stadium FIFA officially listed as nearly full. Fan groups filed an official complaint with the European Commission, accusing FIFA of abusing its monopoly position. The Football Supporters Association called the prices a laughable insult to fans. And FIFA's response? They released a small batch of $60 tickets. Most were gone before general sale even opened. In 1994, the last time the US hosted the World Cup, tickets ranged from $25 to $475. That tournament set the all-time attendance record. 3.5 million fans. Game after game, completely full. 2026, $5,785 for the final. Empty seats on day 1. Something went very wrong somewhere. Here is what makes the empty stadium situation so strange. Football fans are not casual consumers. These are people who save for years to follow their national team. People who fly across the world, sleep in cars, queue for 48 hours, for the chance to watch their country play. The demand is real. The passion is real. What isn't real is the idea that those people can afford $300 for a group stage match. FIFA's dynamic pricing model, the same system airlines use to charge more when demand rises, was applied to World Cup tickets. The result? When a match became desirable, the price went up automatically. Sometimes by hundreds of dollars overnight. Fans who had planned for years, budgeted carefully, applied through the official lottery, found themselves priced out at the last moment by an algorithm. The seats didn't disappear. They just became impossible to afford. So they sat empty. While outside the stadiums, in Mexico City, in Guadalajara, across North America, people who grew up loving this game watched it on their phones through a fence. The opening ceremony at the Azteca was stunning. 83,000 fans packed in to watch Mexico beat South Africa 2-0. Shakira performed. The whole world watched. And the very next day, a stadium sat half full for a match the official attendance figures said was nearly sold out. Mexico City on opening day was not just a football celebration. It was a protest. Teachers' unions, activist groups, and local communities took to the streets while the opening ceremony was happening inside the Azteca. Bricks were thrown. Molotov cocktails were reported. People tried to push through stadium entrances. This wasn't a small group of troublemakers. This was organized, planned. People who felt, with real reason, that a tournament worth billions had landed in their city and locked them out of it. The World Cup was supposed to come to North America and belong to North America. Instead, locals watched their streets shut down, their city transformed, their public spaces taken over, and then found out the cheapest ticket cost more than a week's wages. The protests were a message. We are here. This is our city. This was supposed to be our tournament, and we cannot afford to get in. To understand why this happened, you need to understand what FIFA actually is. FIFA describes itself as a not-for-profit organization. Its revenues from the 2026 World Cup are projected to exceed $11 billion. It pays no tax on that money. The host cities bear the costs. FIFA takes the revenue. The fans, whose passion, whose culture, whose identity built football into what it is, are told to chill about paying $10,000 for a final ticket. Infantino's argument is that FIFA reinvests its revenue back into football worldwide. Grassroots programs, women's football, youth development. That argument might even be partially true. But here is the question nobody at FIFA is answering. If a Senegalese fan cannot afford to watch Senegal play, if a Moroccan family cannot afford to see Morocco, if the people whose countries, whose cultures, whose sons are on that pitch cannot get through the gate, who exactly is the World Cup for? There is one more thing that made 2026 different before a single ball was kicked. For 36 years, the World Cup had 32 teams. 32 was not a random number. It was a perfectly balanced format where almost every group stage match carried genuine tension. Every point mattered. Every result had consequences. This year, there are 48 teams. 16 extra countries who, in many cases, qualified not because they are among the best football nations on earth, but because FIFA expanded the tournament to generate more broadcast deals, more sponsorship revenue, more markets. More teams means more matches. More matches means more money. It also means matches where the result is not really in doubt. Group stage games where the stronger team wins comfortably and everyone goes home early. The greatest argument for 48 teams is inclusion. More countries, more cultures, more flags. The greatest argument against is simple. The World Cup was already the greatest sporting event in human history. It didn't need to be bigger. It needed to be better. Here is what will happen over the next 6 weeks. There will be moments of pure magic. There always are. A goal that stops the world. A comeback nobody believed possible. A small nation beating a giant and making an entire country cry. Football always delivers. That part has not changed. But something else is changing. The World Cup was built on a simple idea. The best players on earth. Every nation competing equally. Fans, from everywhere, of every background, of every income, watching together. That idea is getting harder to afford. The empty seats at the Estadio Akron on day 2 of 2026 are not just an embarrassment for FIFA. They are a warning. You can price out the fans. You can fill VIP sections with people who don't care about the result. You can call it unprecedented demand while the cameras show empty rows. But football without its fans is not football. It is a product. And the people who built this game deserve better than being told to chill.